How the heck you doing? This is Corey with Walter Rums. Now we're back, right? This is going to be the Nightmare Edition for the best towers team, and then I'm also going to go ahead and I'm going to make a keeps one as well. But let's just be very, very transparent, right? I'm just going to kind of get straight to it. Let me do something super quick. Let me go ahead and edit this so you guys can see the team, and then it'll make a little bit more sense as to like why I have the placements as they are, and then also just kind of go over the substitutions. So right now this is the main substitution, and then obviously this might be the second substitution, but okay. So I'm gonna explain this and I'm gonna show this, and I might regret it later. Probably won't, because people have made videos about it. I've technically shown it as well, so like it really doesn't matter, but I'll just show it. So after the season, a gauntlet, right? I don't care. I think we were the second best guild in that gauntlet. I don't care. Nightmare teams are dead. um, I don't know how else to put it. Nightmare teams are dead. They just will not work anymore. They will never work ever again, no matter what. They're dead. And I'll explain it because I'll show you why they're dead. But first, let me show you the team, right? So basically, I have a Torador, I have a Wukong. Wukong honestly needs to be A5 if we're talking like very high level guild to guild. If we're talking like plat 3, plat 2 and below, then yeah, like your A1s can definitely suffice. Arrogance is here. Arrogance is okay as a unit, but I would honestly really try to, if you have Ymrit, Ymrit should go here every single day of the week. Doesn't matter. Put Ymrit in here, right? Ymrit will work very well for you. Ezreal is here, but I would really, 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 really recommend Carnelian. If you have Carnelian, put Carnelian in this team. It will save you from the thing that I'm going to show you in a little bit. Carnelian is going to be a game changer in Guild v Guild this season, in my honest opinion. I think she's going to probably be the #1 most important unit in the game for Guild v Guild. I really just feel that way. And then you have a Hotset here. Now Hotset, her entire job is to go ahead and ult and give you really good clearance anytime a unit gets passed into this danger zone. Now the good thing is she is not baited, right? Her ult will not get baited by any units. So swarms, they're not going to do it until they actually get to the point where she needs to ult. So her being in this position is really good. I personally prefer her in this position. If you want to go ahead and put her here, that's more than fine as well. It gives you some protection in the event that somebody is swarming you. But in my opinion, I would rather just guarantee her safety, which is up here, right? So either or position works. Also, if you are interested and you want to go and start stacking up for anniversary or any upcoming banners that you might be looking forward to, right? They have some new packs here where you do go ahead and get some rare stamina. Not rare stamina. You get some rare summoning crystals. You get another rare summoning crystal pack. You have an ancient summoning crystal pack, which is like a really good mix between the Leia and the Ovar pack. So that's one thing to be on the lookout for. They also have a, where is it? A recasting hammer bundle, which is pretty good, especially if you're thinking, oh, I want to go ahead and roll this quad roll. Is there, right? They have an infernal faction pack, so you have the ability to get infernal units, and they also have a nightmare faction pack as well, which is also super good, especially kind of considering where we are nowadays with those two factions, having some really good members. And then we have another ancient summoning crystal pack, which is a little bit lower price in case you just want to get a couple but not too many. Anyways, if you're thinking about it, link is in the description. See ya. I'm biased, and I just think the top position works a little bit more. I'd rather ult and clear out the units than ult and get baited and then just lose, right? That's just me. So that's what you're really looking for in terms of the team placements. As I've discussed in a lot of videos at this point, this area is just a no-go. Unfortunately, it just does not work. There's so many different reasons as to why. I'll just kind of briefly explain it like I have in other videos as well. All these tiles become dead tiles the second you put your tank here. This tile also becomes a dead tile, and this tile also becomes a dead tile. These tiles are okay, but if you put a fighter here, they're going to get hit. And then your only other option is putting your arrogance here or your Ymrit here to get some semblance of damage, right? But you're getting a little bit tricky because it's going to become really easy to just develop a massive swarm throughout this map. And then just run through really easily, right? And if you go ahead and put an Arrogance here, where do you put your Wukong? Where do you go ahead and put, or your Yin right here, where do you put your Wukong, right? Wukong's not going to one-shot the tanks. Tank stacking becomes a thing. So I really recommend just doing a front-placing team until, like, something new comes out during the season, if something does, and then you can go ahead and make some adjustments. But right now, we're going to see front-facing teams every single day of the week, every which way. So I'm just going to exit out of this. Okay, I feel like my game just crashed there. Good God. Okay, so here is basically what we're looking at. So I'm going to go into the defense tower, and I'm going to go set this up super quickly. And it's going to make so much more sense once I show this. So when I say the Nightmare teams are kind of dead, this is exactly what I mean by that. So let's just quick affiliate these. I'm just going to do 2 units, right? 2 units. And I'm going to explain the mechanic and why it's broken. And I feel comfortable with doing this at this point because it's been so widely spread. If you saw my videos, if you've seen Zephyros kind of talk about it, he alluded to it. If you've seen Destin's video, okay, then you should have an idea as to what I'm referring to. It's the Chaos Shaman. It's these archers. And I also made a video saying, hey, these dudes are broken, like months ago. And they're even more broken now that we've not understood, but now that we've made certain mechanics more public, it's even more insane. So what I'm going to do is I might just wait out the Arrogance ult, because I think he is built. And I don't want him to be built and then just mess up what I'm trying to showcase. Cool. So we're going to do 1, 2. And then we're going to get to 6 cost. I should be able to drop these just in time here. Ghost drop, ghost drop. Buff. Watch this. Proc, 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 proc. So they're just melting the Torador, right? Then they go ahead and melt the Wukong. Then they go and melt the Hurricane. Like, dude, like, what do you even do? Right? Like, look how easy that is. Like, look at that. So, that's what I mean. Right? I probably shouldn't have shown that. But that's what I mean by Carnelon is now the most important unit in the game. Because she will go ahead and proc her revives and prevent it from being super commonly dealt, right? The damage, she will go ahead and mitigate it, give the revive mechanic, and so on and so forth. The only counter to this genuinely is we don't know yet. Like, we legitimately don't know the counter yet. Because look how easy that was. The only counter potentially is just one-shotting the archers. And your best bet with that is a unit like an Ardea, for example. But then you really need like some really tanky sustain on your Torador. I'm talking like you might need to use like a, what's it called? Nightmare Serpent or something to go ahead and give him some healing just to prevent the bull from going down, right? That's the position that we are in nowadays with these units. And then everyone's getting them level 5 now. I know mine are really close to being level 5. They should be level 5 by the end of this video. They just one shot, right? So even with this, right? Arrogance is ulted. Torador is getting melted. They don't I don't even know what to say, right? I genuinely feel like Nightmare, and also one of the reasons as to why this is so dangerous is because Torador goes down. I've made videos about this so many times, but whenever Torador dies and revives, he actually dies. He doesn't go invulnerable and doesn't take any damage. He actually dies. So the units will go ahead and target behind him and kill them. So I can make a keeps side of this. I will, but yeah, I will, but let me just explain, right? As it currently stands, Nightmare teams are largely dead. They just don't function in the ways that they used to function typically. And so let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to be just quick build, because honestly speaking, it's going to be the exact same thing. It's not even, it really isn't worth you like explaining this, because it's going to be the exact same thing. But let me just be a good person, right? Be a good content creator. That's all fine. Hot sit, hot sit, hot sit, hot sit. Where is she? There we go. Okay. So even if I build this team, right, in the standard way, which is going to look a little something like this, right? Torador up here. Okay. Look something maybe more akin to this. Boom, boom. Yimrit. Boom, boom. Something like this, right? Would be your best bet. Now, as I've mentioned a billion times in different videos, this entire section of the map is pretty much dead unless it's for Ingrid, right? And even then, it's a little bit tricky, because you have to basically create like a firing squad of units behind the tank for it to be a really viable strategy, right? So Ingrid is going to be good. Paredes has the potential to be really good as well on this map. Like really good on this map, but you're a little bit limited in the overall viability as to like what you can do. So even with this team for Nightmares, right, what's going to happen is shamans run it down, take out everything, good night, right? So build your Nightmare teams, right? Obviously, if you can only build your Nightmare teams, do it. You just be cautious that there's a game-breaking mechanic. Also, let me go backwards. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to explain why it's so game-breaking and what I honestly suggest should be done to go ahead and fix this. And honestly, I wasn't even anticipating kind of getting like riled up. So my bad. But it's just a little bit concerning, right? So I have 2 units. Are they even in my... I'm not even in my BP set. Then again, neither are like all my units like fully geared. Like 1000%. Torador is, right? Torador is for sure. But let's go ahead and set this up, right? So here's why this is such a deadly mechanic for the Nightmare faction in particular. Torador dies and he revives. Nightmares receive 15%, I believe with Torador is 10% less healing than normal. And so that's a huge factor, right? So I'm going to just drop both of these. And here's why it gets tricky. I'm going to... Oh, wait, perfect. There's a literal tile for this. Look at that. Buff. All right, I'm going to slow this down. I'm going to click Torador. So watch this. Hit 1, burning. Hit 2, burning. Hit 3, burning. Now what we're going to see here is we're going to see 3 separate burning procs occur any second now. 1 proc, 2 procs, 3 procs, 4 procs, 8 procs, 10 procs, dead. And then watch this. It's an on-hit effect. And so every time, and now he's going to start getting burned. He's gone. And then the Chaos Shaman are still tanky enough to kind of deal with it. And then also inflict the burning, right? So we've already gone ahead and forced out Torador's revive. We've gone ahead and forced out a Wukong. And all we need to do at that point is honestly just swarm it if we really cared to, right? So that's the issue at hand, right? Nightmare teams are just dead. I'm sorry, they are dead. See ya.